Hey, it's Wes. I wanted to make a real quick video. I've not really uploaded a whole lot, and that's going to kind of become more of the theme. Um, a lot of these are going to be eventually. I want to get to actual some gameplay. The problem is I just have not had a lot of time lately, and so what I've been doing, I've just been doing the dailies, grinding them out, and that's about all I've been playing this last week. It's weird. I have time and I don't have time all at the same time. It's just the way it goes sometimes. But basically, I created a deck the other day, and I just wanted to touch base with it. I called it Kratz. It's mostly just a creature heavy deck. I had a challenge. It was something like, 750 gold, but you got to play 30, 40 creatures, something along those lines. So, like, you know what? I'm just going to throw together a white weenie deck, old school. And so, I mean, you can see the casting cost. The highest casting cost is 2 mana. I've got 24 planes, which I could see some people arguing that that's actually a little high. But the thing is, this is a wonderful deck, and I have had a lot of fun with it. I'm just going to go through it real quick. It's nothing special, nothing fancy. Would probably get my butt stomped if I played it ranked. But for just grinding out stuff, especially the missions with casting like white spells or casting creatures, it's great for that. So we've got this Anointed Chorister. I love his ability because once you get to the point where all you're doing is just drawing lands and putting those into play, and most of your creatures are already in play, he's got an ability that makes him more than just a one drop. Charm Stray, of course, once again, he's got lifelink. It's an important thing. Both of these have got lifelink. That's what makes this deck work. Charm Stray is a great addition. I've got a Sanctuary Cat in here. This one I want to replace, but I just haven't decided what I want to replace it with yet. So for now, it's hanging out in here. I've thought about replacing it with the Beloved Princess. I've only got one copy of it. I could craft it, but for just doing my for just doing things and just accomplishing daily tasks in the game, I don't know if I really care to spend anything to craft anything else yet for this deck. This is the card that makes it work, though. If you've noticed, almost everything with the exception of Sanctuary Cat thus far has had lifelink. This character also has got lifelink. I like to hold this one in my hand until I know that their counterspell or their murder or whatever it is, their removal is out of their hand. And so I kind of hold on to it, and 9 times out of 10, I'm already hitting pretty close to having the 7 additional life that it takes to be able to power his ability. And so I pop him into play, and I'm getting a lot of people actually just scooping right at that point. Now I've added in Tactical Advantage, which is a pretty obvious choice. You could argue putting in something else, such as another creature or maybe another instant, and I can see that but what I like to do with this is I'll oftentimes attack with a 1/1, and they'll have a 1/2, and they decide to go ahead and block. Well, you took out their 1/2. It's just something to be able to throw into that. Hallowed Priest is another one of the cards that makes this deck work. This, like I said, this isn't a special deck. It's just a fun deck. And Hallowed Priest, it's a cheap card, 2-drop, but every time you're gaining life, you put a +1/+1 on it. And everything in this deck, for the most part, has got lifelink. Impassioned Orator. Something else comes into play, you're gaining life. Knight's Pledge, another aura. I've got 4 of those, and this one, once again, it's kind of one of those ones that I've had it in the deck, I've had it out of the deck. I haven't decided what I like the most yet. And to be honest, I even ran this Venerable Knight for a little while just because she was a 1-drop. And then I was like, she doesn't really work with the rest of the deck. I need to find something better. And I think that Knight's Pledge is what I put in there in her place. And of course, I got Revitalize, gaining 3 life, drawing a card. That is phenomenal. To be able to gain life that easily and to be able to actually have the card draw as well, it's wonderful. And of course, the Birth of Meletus. It's letting you get land into play. It's creating an 0/4 wall, and you're gaining life for 2 mana. That's beautiful. That's just beautiful. And so this is a very, very efficient. Back in the day we would have called this a white weenie deck. I'm not sure what they even refer to these as now. Maybe an aggro deck. But the keys to this deck are pretty straightforward. Speaker of Heavens, Hallowed Priest. You use the Speaker of the Heavens to power your angels, and you get the Hallowed Priest powered up through life gain. And so you kind of have a couple of ways of winning with this deck. And that's kind of the gist of it. Now, doesn't mean it's a great deck. But that's awesome. It's one of those decks. It's been a lot of fun to play with. And I've actually been getting a lot of people. I don't take it into ranked, but I've been getting a lot of people just scooping as soon as I see the priest coming out, or as soon as they're seeing the Speaker of Heavens coming out, once they see how much life link I've got in this deck. And I can't blame them for that. It is what it is. Just to kind of show you what I am working toward, though, I have got 20,000 gold, so I'm going to start doing some Strixhaven drafting probably in the next couple days. I may even be able to actually record that. I suck at drafting, so I'm going to tell you that right up front. If you don't do it often, you're going to be bad at it. Thing is, the only way to get better is to do it. So that's my plan. Anyways, I appreciate you tuning in, and you all have a great weekend.